Good evening, everybody. It is Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. and it's time for Treasure Tales. This is our December 2nd edition, and I think you're going to like it tonight. We've got a couple of really cool people as guests tonight that I think you're going to find very, very interesting. But we're just going to chit chat a little bit first, and let's see if we got somebody in the chat. We've got a bunch of people watching, nobody in the chat yet. But anyways, this during this holiday season, we need to remember a lot of different people, and we're trying to do that here on Treasure Tales, Treasure Talk, and all that kind of good stuff. So, Tom Becker, how are you, Tom? Glad that you could join us tonight. And if you'll notice that on the upper portion, when you sign in, if you're watching on Facebook, you'll see that I'm streaming live with StreamYard. If you want to click that, and that gives StreamYard permission to use your name, and all that does is lets me see in the chat, instead of saying Facebook user, it will have your name, so I know who's watching if I need to ask you something or you ask a question or whatever. So if you would do that, that would be greatly appreciated. So Pacific Northwest Dirt Fishing, two of the finest people on the planet, Tiffany and Ronnie. And you'll get to see more. You're going to see, hear, and see a lot more from them in the coming days. Let me tell you. Also, let's see who else is here. Robert Ridgway. Hey, Robert, how you doing? Finders Keepers on YouTube. Adele Lampersky Rutherford. I tell you what, that is a cool woman right there. She's a good detectorist. I tell you what, she finds some goodies. Now, Adele, I hope you're doing well, kiddo. Let's see who else is here. Jerry Purdy. Hi, Jerry. Glad that you were able to join us tonight. And hopefully that y'all will see in the upcoming weeks, we've got a lot of stuff going on. Next week, we're going to have a really, really good show for you. There's going to be two people that are going to join us that I think most of you know, but maybe most of you don't know them that well or about them, and you're going to learn. So next week, and they are both, here's Teresa the Treasure Hunter, outstanding detectorist, just a superb human being. I mean, what else can you say? Jim Perry, glad to meet you, Jim. Glad to see you. Good and glad that you're here. And we'll see you a little bit later. Next week, we're going to have Casey Dittman, the Key Date Kid, also the owner, inventor, proprietor of ExcaliburShovels.com. And he makes the best shovels and hand diggers on the planet. I'm going to tell you, here is one of the hand diggers. I mean, this is just an absolute marvelous hand digger. It's the best thing I've ever used for a hand digger. And it's also, as you will notice, it's blue for the Blue Spade Society, as Casey is a sponsor of the Blue Spade Society. He's also made me my Sir K in the color blue, that same color blue for the Blue Spade Society, which you can buy. If you would like to be a member of the Blue Spade Society, we would certainly love to have you. What the Blue Spade Society is, it is a group and a movement that I created for my good friend, John David, whom you will get to meet later in the month when we have a special show, Meet John David. He's the one I created the Blue Spade Society for. And I think you're going to find that a very interesting evening. And what we do is for people with any kind of a disability, or if you're a caregiver for somebody's has a disability, you're a family member of somebody who has a disability, you're a veteran, whatever. The disabilities come in all kinds of shapes and forms. So, we would love for you to come join us. We've got a lot of good things planned over, the months and years ahead of us. And, we're growing very strongly. And it's, you just consider this. If, there's all kinds of different of treasure hunting, and what treasure hunting can be to somebody with a disability. It may be their only outlet to go out and get away from the life that they've been saddled with the disability through no choice of their own. But you just think of this, there's a lot of ways for treasure hunting. In the Blue Spade Society, we are trying to convey that to mentors, caregivers, and to people with disabilities that, hey, just because you have a disability does not mean you can't do stuff. I mean, think about it. If you're a veteran, let's say, and you came home from the war, thank God that you came home from the war, but maybe you lost your legs and you're in a wheelchair. Now, you may not be able to metal detect, but I can tell you what, you dang sure can roll your wheelchair out on a bridge and throw a magnet over into the water and magnet fish. And I tell you what, on Treasure Talk, we got a great one coming up. If you've never watched his YouTube channel, go check out Bondi Treasure Hunter. The man finds some really cool stuff magnet fishing. So there's all kinds of stuff, we've got coming up to address these type of situations. You may find in an area where you're at, you just don't know where to start. Well, there may be a Blue Spade Society member in your area that's going to be more than happy to help you, guide you. We're working towards that. Down the road, we're going to have, state bureau chiefs, state chapters, and all kinds of stuff. We're working on a website right now that you can put up there, put your state and the city that you live in, and see if there's anybody around there that wants to mentor you or give you a hand in some way. And it goes back to what we're originally talking about. Is Casey Dittman, Excalibur Shovels, is a sponsor of the Blue Spade Society, along with Myers Metal Detectors. Now, Myers Metal Detectors is the official equipment supplier of the Blue Spade Society. So if you decide that you want to join the Blue Spade Society and you need any kind of equipment, you call Myers and you're going to get a discount when you mention the Blue Spade Society. Now, he does check to be sure that you're a member. That's only fair, as does Casey. If you want to buy something from Casey, you get a discount for the Blue Spade Society. And they're going to check. Now, our next guest, along with Casey, they're going to be on together because I think you're really going to enjoy this, is the Diggin' Canuck. Now, you've seen her, she just covered up an awesome sauce, I'm going to tell you right now. But she has a disability. She was a police officer, and she got vertigo. So she couldn't go to work because if anybody's never had vertigo, you don't know what it's like. I mean, it is, it's bad. But she's out there detecting and bottle dump digging and all kinds of stuff. So it's going to be a real interesting show next week along those lines. So we would love for you to, join the Blue Spade Society. You can find it on Facebook. We also have a YouTube channel, the Blue Spade Society on YouTube, which we are streaming live to right now. We're streaming live to the Blue Spade Society on Facebook, to Treasure Talk, to my page, Myers Metal Detectors, Treasure Talk YouTube. We're going out to like 7 or 8 different platforms that we're streaming live to. So, I mean, there's just a lot of really good things happening with the Blue Spade Society. And the 2 guests next week, we're going to discuss that kind of stuff. So you make sure that you're here to find out even more about how you can participate. And also, we just got something new going for any of y'all out there. You were asking me for it, so we've done it. And it's an ongoing work. We're updating it every day. We now have where you can go and get Blue Spade Society, Treasure Tales, and Treasure Talk merchandise. And it's a Teespring. You just go to teespring.com and look for the Treasure Talk store. I'm working to try and get a link where I can post it here. It's on our Facebook group at Treasure Talk. And I will add it to the YouTube link. But you can go there. You can get T-shirts, coffee mugs, tumblers, hoodies, long sleeve T-shirts, tank tops, all kinds of stuff. You can get them for Blue Spade Society. You can get them for Treasure Tales. You can get them for Treasure Talk. Now, it's a very simple design, which I like. And I think the prices are pretty fair. So, go out and check out the Treasure Talk store at Teespring and get yourself some cool stuff to wear. Get yourself a coffee cup that you can drink some coffee or hot chocolate, or you know, it's a ceramic mug, so you can put all kind of stuff in it. And nobody's going to know what you're sipping, but that's a story for another day. So, anyways, Let's see who else is here. Frederick Romano. Hey, Frederick, how are you doing? Brooklyn Treasure Hunter. Yes, yes, yes. Glad that you're here tonight. Let me scroll up a little bit and see if there's anybody that I did miss, which is entirely Backroads Metal Detecting. I'm glad that you are here tonight. Eric Schaefer. Eric, thank you for joining us tonight. Let's see. These are just people that are in the chat, so there's more people than that watching. And, say hello. Let us know that you're here. And let's see here. Mark Fiorella. Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark, I promise you, I'm going to get your prize you won on Treasure Talk. It's going to go in the mail probably tomorrow. I've been swamped here. So it'll get to you. I promise you. Dan Graham, it's grammar time. That's when you need to keep an eye out on YouTube, is for grammar time. It's going to be some really interesting and cool videos. And so once he gets his YouTube channel up and launched, we'll make sure to get him on Treasure Tales, and we'll talk about that a little bit. And let's see here. Indiana Tones, how are you, sir? Good to see you tonight. And let's see. I hope I don't want to miss anybody. Jersey Ray Diggs, Rachel, how you doing, Rachel? Now Rachel's got a live stream on Wednesday nights, Wednesday night shenanigans, at her and Paul. And I'm gonna tell you what, there's some shenanigans going on there. I'm gonna tell you, but it's really a good time. So you need to make sure you tune in on that. I think it's at 7:00 on Wednesday nights. Jersey Ray Diggs. It's called Wednesday Night Shenanigans. So check her out. You'll be happy that you did. And let's see who else. Lisa P. Lisa P. You're one of my favorites. You know that. I'm glad that you're here tonight. One of these days, I'm going to get you on Treasure Tales, girl. I'm not going to give up. I'm just like Count Dracula. Keep coming back for more. All right. Rose Frazier. Hope you and Art are doing great, Rose. The t-shirts are up there, and there's tank tops and hoodies and long sleeve t-shirts and stuff on the Teespring store. Just look for the Treasure Talk store, and you can get Treasure Tales, Treasure Talk, or Blue Spade Society. So go check them out. And let's see who else is here. Andrew T, nice for you to stop by. We're glad that you are here. Randy Goodnow. Hi, Randy. How are you? Don Frazier. Nice to see you, Don. Glad that you're with us tonight. And there's a Facebook user. That was Tom. So let's see. That we may Digging Canuck. It's awesome sauce right there. Digging Canuck in the house. And the thing of it is, if you were to see her right now, she'd have awesome sauce dripping off her all over. She's just covered up in awesome sauce. What can I tell you? And let's see who else is here. Annie Ross. Hi, Annie. Hope you like that book you won. Now, you asked about the Teespring store. It's up and running. The link is on our Facebook group page, and just go to the teespring.com and ask for the Treasure Talk store, and you'll find all our goodies there, and hope you like what you see. And let's see who else is here. Oh, I think we about said hello to everybody. I think. I don't know. You never can tell with me. I'm old and my mind is going. Moose Ninny, glad that you're here. Hope you're not freezing too bad up there in New York. I know it's cold. And I think we are about Robert Ridgway. Yes, I said hello to you. So we're good to go. So it's time for us to bring on our first guest. And a lot of you have seen this young man before. And I think you're really going to enjoy him tonight. I know he's got one treasure tale that is going to knock your socks off. I mean, it is outstanding. He's got a lot of them, but he's got one that's really good. So let's go ahead and let's bring on part of the Minnesota Beach Boys. Yes, you heard me correctly, of the YouTube channel Minnesota Beach Boys. Let's bring on Alan Carpenter. Hello,
Hey,
Alan.
how you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing good. I am doing good. It's kind of cold up there by you, isn't it?
Yeah, we got a little ice on the lakes,
Yeah.
probably 6 inches.
Yeah. Well, introduce yourself to everybody. There may be a few people that don't know who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the Minnesota Beach Boys, which has kind of sounds like an oxymoron, but after you kind of explain it, they're going to get the gist of it, and then we'll just go from there and see what happens.
All right, everybody. I'm Alan Carpenter. Me and James Kachiver are the Minnesota Beach Boys. We started about 3 years ago, and all we do is water detect in Minnesota. We do land detecting a little bit, but water detecting is the big thing for us. I think I've been detecting probably for about 18 years totally, maybe 6 years water. But Jim's been a lot longer than me. He couldn't come tonight, having some surgery done on him.
He's a lot older, though, isn't he, Alan?
Oh, he's a lot older and heavier now. Yeah, he's the old guy.
Yeah,
But I had an awesome year this year. I use the XP all year again. I can't wait to get the XP2 out there. Just to get her
I'm
wet.
waiting on mine.
I want to get her wet. We're heading down to Florida February 1st to go hunt with Terry Shannon down on the Treasure Coast. So I hope we have her by then.
Well, let's hope so, because I'm waiting on mine.
I think there's going to be a lot of people waiting for it for a while, till the end of the month anyway, in December, I think.
Yeah, probably. I'm not, if it doesn't come till then, that's fine. I got so much stuff going on. I don't know that I'd be able to use it anyway.
Yep. Same up here. Everything's frozen up here right now. We'd have to cut through 6 inches of ice to get to the water.
Yeah. Yeah, but you guys do other stuff in the wintertime. You deer hunt and, you find other things to do.
Yep, we try out.
We're
not done deer hunting. We had an awesome year deer hunting this year. It was a good time.
Now, rumor has it that you had found something really nice.
Yes, I did. I found like 40 pieces of copper this year, and I had my goal set at
a little bit about the copper. A lot of people may not know what you're talking about.
It's copper culture. I mean, it's anywhere from probably 4,000 to 12,000 years old. Spear points and knives and buttons and jewelry from them and from the Indians.
Now, what Indians would that be, Alan?
Well, up here we got the Coudray Indians, but back that many years ago, I don't know what they would call them Indians. That old,
Yeah.
But I think it starts with the A or something. What those Indians were called? I'm not sure of the name, but I think it started with the A.
Okay.
But, I set a goal this year of 100 rings. I didn't make it. I only got 99. But I got a lot of gold this year, so I was really happy with the 99 rings. And then this late fall I was out at a local lake, and I was probably out about chest high, and I dug a beautiful big ring. Well, just a monster stone in it. And I threw it in my junk pile and think, because I'm sure it was fake, Well, we got home, and the wife said, well, that looks gold. So we checked it. Sure as the heck, it was gold. So then I thought, well, if that's gold, I wonder if that diamond's real. So we went and got a diamond checker, and boom, it went all the way up to red instantly. Well, I didn't even trust that, so I had to go get another one and try it, and sure the heck it is. And it's anywhere between 3.5 to 4 carat diamond.
And you no longer have that, right?
I do not. I was kind of foolish, and I showed the wife. Every time I come home, she does this, let's see what you
Uh-huh.
got.
Yeah.
I handed that over to her because I thought it was fake, otherwise I would have hit it. Got a
She
new boat.
found you.
Yep. So anyway, we're sending it. We're bringing it down south, and she wants that diamond put into a new wedding set for her, and that's what I gave to her. So she's pretty happy.
Well, that'll be good. Now, I know, a lot of people know Terry Shannon. You mentioned you're going to hunt with him some on the Treasure Coast, but a lot of them maybe don't know that he lives in Minnesota.
Correct. Over in Frazee, Minnesota. We were there a couple times this summer detecting with him.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about some of your detecting adventures with Terry, because I know you guys found an awful lot of that copper stuff.
Oh, yeah. We went up north one day, me, Terry, and James Kachiver, the other Minnesota beach boy, and we just hit the water, and Terry wanted to find a piece of copper bad, real bad. And my first signal I dug, what the heck was it? A big spear point. Terry was kind of bummed out, but we hunted all day and we didn't find no more copper up there. But we were always in the water. We didn't go up on land at all. So, but this summer we got some big plans to go. We found some places where to get copper on land. So I'll be taking Terry up there, and he's going to work it hard this summer to get his copper. He wants it bad.
Oh, yeah, he does. I know he does. I know he does. A lot of people don't realize that, the detector that you use now is the XP Deus. And
Correct.
they say, well, how do you hunt in the water with it? Well, tell them a little bit about that, because it is possible. And now with the new Deus 2 is going to be waterproof down to 60 feet, I think.
It's going to be a lot easier to use too, the Deus 2.
Yeah.
I mean, the regular Deus is super sensitive in the water, fresh water, that is. Salt water probably ain't that good, but the new one's going to be excellent in salt water,
Yeah.
But you got to put the control pouch into a dry pack suit to get, and I wear it around my neck. And then you got to have a wire from the coil going all the way up to the control box. As long as it's close to it, it'll read it. And I dove a little bit with it, but I didn't want to take it down too far. I didn't trust that bag too much,
Mm-hmm.
But this new one's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely magnificent. I just can't hardly wait to get it. And I think a lot of people say that, it's hard to see the screen. Well, it is for me a little bit on my Deus, because my right eye is worthless. Okay. And I'm right-handed. But I don't hunt much with numbers anyway.
No.
On the Deus, I usually use the XY screen's the only screen I really use, and I listen for tones and stuff. But I guess the new Deus 2, the screens can be a little bigger, isn't it?
It is. It looks a little bigger anyway. So, well, quite a bit bigger anyway.
Yeah, that'll be great. I can't hardly wait.
I started using the 5th full tones this year. Dave Natale got me into the full tones, and I love it.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing. Yep. I tell you what.
I didn't like it at first, but I used it for a couple of days, and now that's the only thing I use on it.
Yeah. Have you ever used the pitch?
I tried it. I didn't really work on it that hard on the pitch, but the 50 tones, I really love it. I can tell if it's gold right away,
Okay. We got a question from Annie Ross. She's a fantastic young detectorist over in Pensacola, Florida. Okay. She says, do you keep the copper pieces, or do you have to turn them into an archaeological society or to a museum, or what exactly do y'all do with them?
I throw them back in the water for somebody else. No, they're all going to be given to a museum. Right now, I'm just keeping them, getting a collection just for bragging rights, but they're all going to go to a local museum. So that's nice to have. So everybody can enjoy them.
Up that old, Yep.
Yeah, everybody can enjoy it then, seeing them,
Yeah, it's kind of like when we were in England, the guy that put the tour together for us, his wife was along, and she found part of a Bronze Age axe head.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I looked at it and I'd have thrown it away because I didn't know what the heck it was.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff that I looked at that they said, oh, yeah, that's cool, that I found. I was going to pitch because I didn't know what,
Yeah.
It was, over 4,000 years old for that Bronze Age axe head.
So, would I love the water hunt over there? I think it'd be a blast.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, who knows what you could find over there? It'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it will. We're gonna have fun this winter though down in Florida. I don't care for sharks, so that's why I'm gonna put Terry on the deep side when we walk.
Well, most of the time over in the Treasure Coast, you're not going to be in the water.
Not far anyway.
Not very far. You may get out to knee deep, and that'll be about it.
Well, that's far enough for sharks to get into, ain't it?
Well, I wouldn't worry about the sharks.
No.
I don't worry about the sharks. You got to worry about the waves knocking you on your butt.
Yep. Terry's told me a few stories about some sharks when he was out there, a little bit.
Yeah, well, you'll see them, but sharks aren't really going to bother you unless unless you're out flopping around. Of course,
we don't have too much
in the wintertime. You have a wetsuit on out there flopping in the water. Looks like a seal. Let me back that one up. With me, it looks like a walrus. So,
come on, Jeff. I lost a little weight this summer. I mean, I started in February, and by the end of July, I lost 69 pounds. So I had to get all new wetsuits this year.
No, it
feels a lot better to lose some weight.
Yeah, it does. It does indeed. So what else you got planned?
Well, right now I'm done metal detecting up here. I just got back 2 days ago from Iowa. I went down there with Lenny Queelan, and we went out and did some metal detector and found some nice old tokens. And so that was probably my last trip for the year.
Yeah, until you go to Florida, which is going to be
until I go to Florida in January. Yep. February. Yep. So it's going to be a good time down there, but I can't, like I said, once that new machine comes out and people sees what it does, if it's anything like the regular Deus and waterproof, and then it's going to be multi-frequency on top of it. So
and fast multi-frequency.
Fast, really fast.
That's one thing people don't realize about the Deus is that sucker is fast
and sensitive.
Very sensitive.
You can get small pieces of gold, and so. But anybody that gets one, I wish them a lot of luck with that thing because it's going to be awesome.
Oh, it's going to be great. So, when you and Jimmy go, you do mostly, like you said, water hunting. Now, did you hunt the otter tail with Terry?
We did. We went down there a couple times last summer, and I found my biggest coin spill in the river, which was like 635 coins in one pile.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, the first scoop I made, I got 235 coins in that scoop, in the first scoop. They were all in a big pile.
Somebody must have, you think it was some kind of a robbery or?
Yeah, that's what Terry found out. It was a robbery, and somebody they broke into a safe and must have threw the bag over in the wintertime on the ice, and it floated down. And then when the ice melted, it just fell right down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But that was still pretty cool to dig that many coins. They're all pennies, of course, a few Wheaties, but it was still fun.
Still, it's a lot of penny. A lot of money.
Yep. We got some beautiful gold rings when we were there, silver necklaces, big, heavy silver chain necklace I found. And
well, they raft on the otter tail, correct?
Correct.
So they get dumped, and that's how they lose all their jewelry.
But this year it ran out of water.
Oh, really?
Yep, there was hardly any water so they shut the tubing down this summer. So that's why it wasn't too good detecting there.
Yeah, well, it'll be back next year.
Oh, definitely.
Especially if they have you have a big winter where you get a lot of snow, and the melt will help that.
Yeah, our lakes were down 2 to 3 feet this year, so we got to wade out a lot farther, and touch water that was never detected.
Yeah.
My best thing I probably got in one scoop this year was I got 2 walking liberties in one scoop.
Oh, wow.
Yep, that was kind of cool.
But Annie Ross wants to know what's the weirdest thing you've ever found. Of course, up there in Minnesota in the water, it could have been a dead body. It was well preserved, wasn't it?
Well, I did find a bone one time, and it was right where we found some Indian copper culture, and I had it in my truck for a long time. I didn't think nothing about it. And then I asked this nurse what it was, and she said it was definitely a human bone. And then I asked the doctor, and he said, definitely a human bone. So I took it back where I found it and said a little prayer and threw it back in the water.
Well, that's probably the best thing to do.
So I imagine it could have been an Indian or something, out in the water. So, but the weirdest thing I probably found was I started collecting these little brass. They're flat and they're brass, about this big around. And I was finding tons of them at this one beach. And here to find out they were all cremation tags. I
Oh,
had like 26 of them. Well, I brought every one of those back and put them out in the water where I found them. So that's probably
yeah.
about the weirdest thing, you know.
Yeah, you'll find that kind of stuff,
Oh
if you
yeah, a
hunt in
lot of
water.
cremation tags you find in the water.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
people
for
dump
sure.
the ashes and
Yeah. So when you come down to Florida in February, give me a shout. I'm probably going to try and go south. For me, I'm already in the south. I'm in North Florida, but I may try to go down around Tampa and get to Guru and do some hunting. So
definitely.
if you're going to be over there by your daughter, that's not that far.
No,
West
that'd be a fun trip.
Chapel. So I'll be probably staying on Treasure Island, which is not that far. It's right there at St. Pete Beach. So
Okay,
we'll get
okay.
together and hunt a few times.
Take the new Deus and hope we both got our new Deus by then.
That's right. I hope I do.
Definitely.
I sure hope I do. Well, Alan, it has certainly been super to see you. I haven't talked to you for a while. If you talk to Jimmy, the other part of the Minnesota Beach Boys, I know he just had some eye surgery and
Yep.
he'll be looking good. And tell him we said hello and we're thinking about him. And tell your wife that we want to see that ring.
Yes, definitely. And she won't even let me hold it no more.
Tell her what I'm going to do is we're going to go out for pizza. I'm going to get my hand all nice and greasy. Then I'm going to shake her hand and kind of.
There you go. Just kind of slide it right off. We'll both go get new detectors then.
That's right. She go, hey, you're a hoser. Hey, get out of here.
That's right. Well, you all have a great evening tonight and get out and do some water detecting.
That's it. Thanks, Alan.
Right.
We'll talk at you, man.
Till next time, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I mean, those two guys, Alan is a hoot, and Jimmy Kachiver, his partner in the Minnesota Beach Boys. Go check out their YouTube channel. You're going to love it. People don't think that just because you're up in Minnesota, they're out there neck deep in the water and they find a lot of stuff. Check out some of their videos. It's Minnesota Beach Boys. They even got a couple episodes when Terry Shannon was up for the summer up in Frazee and hunting with Terry. And so it's really a good channel. So go and check them out. And I think you'll enjoy what you find. So our next guest, it's kind of special. He's also from Minnesota. It's a kind of a Minnesota night, eh? And this Minnesota is kind of by Canada, so it's kind of semi-Canuckish, eh? So that's why I'm kind of doing a Minnesota, yeah, a little accent there, and a Canadian, eh? Kind of a Canucket. But anyway, this young man, he does something very, very special. Now, I'm not going to ruin it, but I'm going to let him tell you all about it. I think you're going to be very pleased with what he does, what he's accomplished, and I think you'll be quite amazed as well. So let's bring on our next guest from Minnesota, Jim Perry.
Hey, Jeff. How are you?
Jim, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm still at school. It's 7:30 here in the evening in Minnesota. We had conferences tonight at the high school. I work at both our high school and middle school in the same building, so I have not left for home yet. So we had conferences at the high school side of the building tonight. So glad to be with you.
That is good. So why don't you, or maybe a lot of people who don't know you or know of you, so take a few minutes, take all the time you need, tell everybody a little bit about you, what you do, your YouTube channel, and then we'll see if there's any questions, and then we'll talk treasure.
Absolutely. So my name is Jim Perry, and I grew up in Stewartville. So I teach here still. I'm raising my children here. My wife and I live here. And I lead a class called REACH. REACH stands for Relationships, Education, Accountability, Character, and Hard Work. And the classes themselves deal with lots of struggles that students can have outside of the school day. So there are a lot of students that have academic struggles, and a lot of them are caused by issues outside of school. And when we started REACH, we had an academic intervention that took place here at our middle school before, and the principal at the time knew of my background, and he knew that I grew up with a lot of trauma. I grew up here in town, and if it was traumatic and it was chaotic and dysfunctional, it happened in my family. So I knew that I would be able to connect with kids that might have similar experiences. So we started REACH. We're in our 8th year now. We received a few awards for the work that we've done here. We have worked with over 300 students now, helping guide them to be their very best. So about a year and a half ago, when the pandemic hit, March 13th here in Southeast Minnesota was our last day of school that spring. And we walked out the door that day and we were told, you'll be back maybe by Wednesday or Thursday of next week. And it really didn't turn into that. One of the goals that I have for my students is for them to find good, wholesome, honest, and if outdoor, that is even better, hobbies or activities that'll contribute to their overall well-being. So I had toyed around with the idea of metal detecting solely because my wife and I were watching The Curse of Oak Island, and I fell in love with who I consider the absolute hero of that show, being Gary Drayton. And I thought this would be an actually really cool hobby to take up, and it would be really, really cool to teach the lessons from it with my students and with other kids through camps. So bought my very first detector that spring, Bounty Hunter Mach 4 or Mach 1, I forget what it was called, the $99 Fleet Farm special.
It's a great detector.
Yeah, and it worked great. But within an hour of using it, I was absolutely in love with the hobby, and I knew I wanted something a bit more. So I am on my 6th metal detector now in that short amount of time. I'm swinging an XP now. They had seen some of my videos XP had, so we have a unique partnership now where I'm using the ORX right now, and still learning it. Was using the Simplex most of the year, and now using the ORX. So there's so many lessons that can be learned and taught through metal detecting, from planning and preparation and the research of it. And the H in REACH stands for hard work. And there is a tremendous amount of work that goes into play when you metal detect with no guarantees. You can go out for 5 hours and pull all trash. And it's the same thing in the classroom. You can work on something as hard as you possibly can, and you're not guaranteed to find success. So what do you do about it? Do you quit? And some people do. Some people give up very quickly. But perseverance is extremely important when we look at students that typically might give up on stuff. So everything from that hard work to patience and perseverance, and there are also the mental health benefits and overall well-being benefits of time in a small group detecting together. But for me, and I enjoy that, but for me, it's time on my own, either with my thoughts or most of the time not with any thoughts at all, just time outside. I do a huge amount of detecting out in the woods and at old farms and farmsteads that have been since removed here in Southeast Minnesota. So I've been to Florida twice and hoping to get back down to St. Pete again sometime soon. Interesting story. You had Gary Gross on a little bit more than a month ago. And I had followed his channel before we went down there. And my wife and I were there in April. And every morning I went out, I saw a detectorist in April. And I did not have a detector with me at the time. So we went back with our children. They're 19, 18, and 17 years old. And I went out each morning while they slept in. And all week, I didn't see any detectorists. And all I thought was, I'd like to meet someone down there that actually does get on the beach. But that Friday was the day before we left. I went out, and there were 2 out in the water. And I don't know about down there, but sometimes detectorists up here are a little bit territorial about their spots.
Not down here.
Okay.
No.
Well, I wasn't aware of that. So one of them was farther to the north in the water. One of them was farther to the south in the water. So I thought I'll stay between the 2. I'll get close until maybe they might get territorial, and I'll turn around and head in the other direction. So I went to the north, probably 10 minutes or so, realized he was watching me a bit. So I turned back to the south, and turns out it was Gary to the south. And the closer I got, he kept turning and looking at me. And I thought, well, I'll move a little bit farther away from the water. And all of a sudden he turned, looked straight at me, and started walking out of the water straight in my direction. Now, again, I didn't know if he was being territorial or not, so I was a little bit concerned. And like, hey, how you doing? Morning, what can I do for you? And he says, you know what? You look just like, oh, I can't think of his name. Did you find 2 rings down here this week? I'm like, oh, that's me. I did. I found 2 rings down here. This is one of them. I found this the day before I met Gary down there, and we did a quick interview for his channel for Cop Tech. I actually wear the ring all the time here. Brought it to class, shared it with students, and then kind of got hooked up with watching your channel a bit more after seeing that he was on it. And I don't know, it's been an amazing journey with the hobby that, again, is good and wholesome. And, you know, the good, honest people, they're sometimes a little bit secretive about their spots that they hunt, but that's okay as well.
Well, that happens. We've got a question from Ronnie and Tiffany, Pacific Northwest Dirt Fishing.
Yep.
And you want to know, do you share your program out with other teachers in the country?
Yep, I do. So I am not the first Reach program in Minnesota. It was started in another town, Hutchinson, Minnesota, and it's not a curriculum. So the beauty of it is it's not something that you have to buy and that you have to teach word for word. It's a common goal for students. It's a goal for us to connect with kids that have struggles, and not just academic struggles, but life struggles, real, sometimes difficult to hear life struggles, through relationships, education, accountability, character, and hard work. We do share an awful lot. I do a tremendous amount of public speaking at other schools for staff trainings and at conferences, mostly in Minnesota, but I have spoken at several national conferences. I was a semifinalist for Minnesota Teacher of the Year last year, when won the Minnesota Human Rights Award the year before. And there have been a lot of opportunities to share what we're doing here with other schools because of that. So if someone's interested in that, I do have a website for that as well. That's reachjimperry.com. And all of my lessons and all the information about trauma-informed education can be found there, and a little bit of metal detecting there as well.
Well, why don't you post that on our Treasure Talk group page, as well as the Blue Society, Blue Space Society group page. And, you know, something else that occurs to me in the word reach, you've got H, and metal detecting teaches honesty and honorability as well.
Yes. Yep. And we have so many character traits that that make us whole. They make us the person that we are. And that is the focus of my class every single day. So Reach at Sturteville High School and Middle School is for grades 6 through 12. So I have high school in the morning, or mostly high school in the morning, and then I've got middle school in the afternoon. But because we're in the same building, I see kids from both ends of the building all day long. The door is always open during my lunch, during my prep time, before school, after school, because we all know if we are struggling, the struggles that we have don't go on a timetable, and we can't schedule the time that we're struggling with something. So I'm honored to be able to share some of the things that I've learned about working through trauma with the students, and hopefully inspire them to be a little bit closer to the person that they want to be in life.
Well, you know, that's the thing. I think what you're doing is fantastic, because they may find sometimes, you know, if they've got a bad situation at home, and there's always yelling, fighting, and carrying on, if they can get out and maybe do a little detecting, they get out by themselves, it's quiet, they find an inner peace, and, you know, get their thoughts together, and maybe that's what helps them get through you know, this period in their life. So what you're doing is just outstanding.
Thank you.
Absolutely outstanding.
I've always said that our past does not define us, but it does help shape who we are. And that's the good and the bad. So if you take all of the good experiences that you have and all of the negative experiences that you have, and if you're able to find strength and meaning and purpose from both of them, that's how you become the best version of you. So I try to take all of my experiences and to share them. I'm a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo. I share those lessons with my students as well, along with teaching some self-defense. In addition to, like, during the day, I also lead some camps for at-risk kids, and I share both of those experiences with them as well. And with those camps, these are kids that don't have the opportunity to get outside and to use a piece of equipment that their family might not be able to afford. So I take a few extra detectors with me to these camps in a kind of a summer program in an area town, and share like the knowledge that I've gained, the small amount. And I most days feel like I have no clue what I'm doing. I found a few cool things, but it's to inspire them to get out and to do something good for themselves and to be out and moving.
Well, here's a thing, something that I think we could do if you're amenable to it. If you post where they can get a hold of you, there may be a lot of people that are members of Treasure Talk and watch Treasure Talk and Treasure Tales and Blue Spade Society. Maybe they have an old detector that they can donate for the kids to use.
Yep, I've asked on and off for stuff like that. I will, when we're done here, actually I'll put a couple different links on the pages and on YouTube as well. The more machines that we can get in the hands of kids, I feel the better.
Well, I tell you what, you get with me and I'll get you hooked up with somebody that I can't promise anything, but it's one of the major manufacturers in the world, and maybe they can, maybe something can happen here.
That would be nice. That would be beautiful.
At least it can open a dialogue. And what's the worst that can happen?
The worst that anyone can say is no. And that's not the end of the world.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
So, we'll do everything we can to help, because it's so worth it. Because you could change, you're changing these kids' lives. And a lot of them, they may not have anything at home.
I started, one other activity that I do is running. And I started running simply because a teacher of mine took about 15 minutes one day in class to introduce the class to it. And it changed my life that day. I became a runner before I left school that day. We as teachers and as adults, we may never know the impact that we've had on a kid's life. The best that we can do is just share our experiences, try to inspire them again to try as many possible things that they can, and maybe something will stick. And just try to teach them character and to be their very best. And then we have to let go and hope for the best. And in the end, we might not ever know how things turn out.
But it might have made a difference. They may be going to do something. Then they think about something that happened when they were with you and change their mind.
Yep, absolutely. I firmly believe in that.
So I tell you what, we've got just now, Jersey Ray Diggs, Rachel Elmore. She's got a YouTube channel. She's a fantastic person. She's one of our favorites. She says she has a bounty hunter tracker for that she will donate. So
my gosh,
challenge out to anybody out there. If you have a detector that you're not going to use, donate it. It's to the best cause you can get. And and you can get a hold of me, and I'll get a hold of Jim. He's going to put the stuff on the page, the group pages, and we'll make sure that you guys get together.
Completely unexpected. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm blessed to be able to do what I do. I taught history and math and English and in other subjects before leading Reach, and I loved my job then. I can't imagine going back to it at this point. One of my other goals for students is to find meaning in their life. And sometimes that's through work. Sometimes we have to have jobs that we're really not happy with, and then you find meaning somewhere else. I have found my meaning through work and some of the other things that I do, and through family, and completely unexpected tonight. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, another just an outstanding person, Teresa the Treasure Hunter. And her comment is that you are planting seeds, and indeed you are. You're planting seeds. And just like I said, it may not be something right now. Maybe it's 2 years from now. One of these kids that's in, having problems, maybe they're out and they're, I'm going to hold up this convenience store or whatever. And then they think about, Jim told me I don't need to do this. I can do this if I put my mind to it, and maybe they won't do it.
Right.
And maybe getting into metal detecting. I can't remember now who it was because I'm an old person, but they were telling me when they were young, they would go out when they first started metal detecting, and they would go looking in the parks and that for change, and that's what they would buy, milk and bread for their meals.
Yep.
So
I take all of my change,
fantastic.
all of the clad that I find goes into a bucket, and then I use it to seed the parks that I use for the camps that I do with kids. And the negative side of that is the local park here in town, I can't detect anymore because I'm just pulling change that I'd already pulled before and sprinkled all over.
Right. Well, maybe, we'll put it out there. I'll start announcing it on some of the shows. Maybe somebody up there has got that can do a hunt for these kids. Maybe do a seated hunt. They'd enjoy that. Maybe we can get some more people to donate some older detectors to get them started. You never know.
That would be great. Thank you so much.
So the more we can get, the better off it'll be, because it is just an absolutely one of the most worthwhile causes, because you're investing in your future.
Yes.
These kids are going to be the future.
Yep. When I see my students, I see them as kids right now, but I also do my very best to picture them in 10 years. A lot of them are going to be parents and hopefully productive members of society. And as any adult in the building, that's our goal, is for them to be happy, healthy, and as productive as they can possibly be. And we all play a role in that.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about it is, like you said, you're getting them out of the house. They're not doing this all the time.
Yes.
With the video games. And the video games, to me, a lot of it, and I'm going to hear about this, trust me, is with all the violence and the shooting and the killing, I think that is ingrained in them far too much. So let's get them out. Let's get some fresh air, get some sunshine, get on your knees, dig a few holes, learn the etiquette of it. And there's a lot of lessons to be learned. The proper way to dig a hole, the proper way to go up and knock on somebody's door to get a permission. How you dress, how you act, how you speak. There's a lot of lessons to be learned, and they need to learn them because obviously they're not getting them at home.
Absolutely.
So I think it's fantastic.
Thank you.
I think you're going to be quite surprised by the generosity of the fans of this show and Treasure Talk and all of our groups and a lot of the YouTubers. I think you're going to be very well pleased with the what's going to happen in the near future. I think. So
in addition to that, if I can't bring an item in, I had an item that I found last year that I was never able to bring into the classroom. I found a World War I American Legion marker from a cemetery here in town that someone had dumped in the lake, and the lake drained years later. So what I do when I go out is I record videos as well. So Backroads Metal Detecting is the channel. If I'm not able to bring the items in, or I bring one or two things in, I get that all produced, and then I show that in class the next day. And those are anywhere from 5 minutes to 15 or 20 minutes, and share that experience. And in essence, I'm able to take my entire class each hour with me out into the field, literally, to be able to see what that experience is like. Even if they're not able to join me now, maybe they will in the future based on what they saw there.
Yeah, and maybe they're learning something about history. They go out and they find something, that's history.
Yes.
So then maybe they want to go to the museums. Maybe they want to learn about the history other than what they hear on the news about, let's take a statue down or this and that and the other thing. History's there for us to learn from it and to honor it. And I think metal detecting, treasure hunting, goes right along with that. I mean, it may not be metal detecting. Maybe you'll take them magnet fishing or, that kind of stuff. So there's just many, many, many ways to do that.
Every item that I find, I feel like it's got a story to tell. Sometimes it takes a little bit of digging to figure out what that story is, but there is a story to be told. How was that item used? Who was it that possibly owned it? What did they do for a living, and how did they live where they lost it? And how do they feel when they lost it? How did that impact them? And it's that story that brings history to life. I joined our Stewartville Area Historical Society for that very reason, to be able to combine the metal detecting that I'm doing and some of the artifacts I'm finding here locally with a group of people that are like-minded wanting to share that. And then even on the side, there are several different groups in Minnesota. Metal Detecting Minnesota is a large group that I take inspiration from them. But almost immediately after I started, I saw that there was a local group, Southeast Minnesota, the Zumbro Valley Treasure Hunters. So I looked them up online, and I was looking for a group to join, to find inspiration and to gain a little bit more knowledge, and joined their group, and then was nominated in July of this year and voted in to be their vice president. And part of it is sharing our experiences with youth, because the hobby will die if we don't have new people take it up.
That's
and
right.
Some of those new people are young, and if we can excite them about it, they'll be the people that are doing this for 50 years. It won't be those that are a little bit more experienced now who have been doing it for 50 years already.
Well, we've got some people like Ronnie and Tiffany from Pacific Northwest Dirt Fishing. They are going to post a link to your program on their YouTube channel. And I imagine there's a lot of people that watching tonight that have YouTube channels that'll probably do the same thing. Yep, and they may mention, about let's get some, some of the detectors you don't use much anymore. Let's get them up there for these kids.
That would be great.
I think things are going to happen.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Well, we thank you because, it's fantastic. There's not many people that do that. They want to write them off.
Yeah.
Right. And they just want to write them off. And
they're all great kids. Some people just don't know it yet. And sometimes the kid doesn't know it yet either.
That's it. Absolutely, they don't know it. They're struggling. They're trying to find a way. And if the slimmest of threads, if they get something to grasp onto, and maybe they don't carry it out for a long period of time, but maybe they learn a few lessons, life lessons along the way, and how to act and how to be. That's going to, change the course of their life. So maybe they're not going to end up in prison or behind bars or, whatever, or destitute because of something like this. We just don't know. But isn't it worth it to try?
Absolutely. And there's a whole, it's a completely different conversation. But if we talk about the trauma of COVID in the pandemic and how that is impacting schools in the way that we're functioning now, in the way that kids are learning or not learning, in their engagement. Again, that's a completely separate conversation. But in order to get kids engaged and excited about school, we need to get them excited about life. And I feel strongly that metal detecting has been a great way for me to be able to do that as well.
Now I need to get the link to your program so that I can get it posted.
Will do.
Just tell us what it is, and maybe people can remember it.
So the program website is reachjimperry.com, and Perry was with an A. So Jim, PARRY.com. Everything about Reach is there, from videos, awards, news stuff, articles, all of the lessons that I do. I have a series of character lessons that are called Reach Reflections. All of those are on there. In a little bit of metal detecting and kind of some ways to get to the other side to my metal detecting stuff, but a lot of trauma-informed education information there. So reachjimperry.com.
And then when they can get a hold of you, is where they can send the detectors. If you got digging tools, pouches,
anything would be appreciated.
Whatever.
Yep. All my contact information is right on the website, but it's reachjimperry@gmail.com. That'll get direct to me by email as well. So,
and I tell you what I'm going to do, and I know I can speak for this man because he's like my brother, Myers Metal Detectors. I'm going to get a hold of Phil tomorrow, and you make sure you get this link to me because my mind is going. And you see these towels?
Yeah.
These are
very
like
nice
towels. He's got a little ring to take digging towels. I'm going to have Phil send you, some towels.
Okay, thank you so much. Those are sharp.
You can use with the kids and whatever. So I think It's just something little, but it could mean, it's something for them to use, and it lets them know that there are other people out there in this world that do care.
Yes.
And in today's age, it's hard to find that. Let me tell you.
It is. Yep, we get very busy.
Like that.
Yep, we get very busy in our own little world. And there are far too many people that don't care.
Yeah, and there's, they don't see it in the day-to-day workings.
Right.
But it's something, you can relate this story with them, and this will be on, it's going to be on the YouTube. So if you want to show it to them, feel free.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And let them know that there are people out there in this community that care.
Yep.
All across the country, and we go all around the world. So
yep.
There are people from England and Australia and all kinds of places watching, and they care. So
very generous. Thank you so much.
It's just fantastic. And we are so very, very happy that you stopped in with us tonight. I think everybody has really enjoyed meeting you and hearing about what you do, and it gives them a way that they can kind of give back. I hope they will. And it may be just in a small way, maybe if they want to, the kids might like, start collecting stickers from all the YouTube channels.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we'll get you some stickers from, we'll get you some of these.
Oh yeah. I'll get those out in my classroom.
And,
cool.
And there's all these people here have stickers.
Yep.
So all you people out there watching, send your stickers. Let's get some sticker collecting going for these as another part of the hobby. And all that does is let them know that you care about them.
Yeah. And that's what they need.
Yep,
we all need it.
And you'll find a group of people you're never going to find than the people that are watching these shows and in the metal detecting community.
I agree.
They are outstanding people. So I want to thank you so much. We've exhausted our time tonight. It just flies by when you're having fun, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. So we'll get you back in, in the spring.
Absolutely.
And, for an update on what's going on and
absolutely
see how many detectors and stuff you've gotten.
Yeah. I'm excited.
But I think it was great for you to stop by tonight and let these people know. And I think you're going to be quite surprised at the generosity of these fine people.
Thank you so much. Completely unexpected tonight. I'm overwhelmed. I am blessed to do what I do. Thank you so much.
And, as just like Annie Ross just said, she says, you're changing lives.
Thank you.
And that means a lot. So we'll say good night, Jim. And I thank you so much. And make sure you get that link posted up on Treasure Talk and the Blue Space Society. And we'll get something going.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jim. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. Now, folks, it don't get any better than that. And, I'm thinking that, we can make a difference. It may not be a lot, but send stickers. And if you know somebody that's got a detector, it don't have to be no great detector. These kids are just learning. They're out there and they're learning socialization skills and about the hobby of metal detecting and the honor in it and the etiquette and this kind of stuff. So if you've got something that's sitting in the corner of dust, you can write it off in your taxes if you need to as a donation. Get it to them. Let's, put it to use. Let them, just make it worthwhile. I want to urge you to do that. And I just want to thank you so much for those that will do it and have done it. And, we'll just kind of go from there and see. We'll get Jim back probably along around February or in March. Gives times for stuff to get going and see what all kind of good stuff has happened. So I'll thank you in advance for being the kind-hearted and good souls that you are. It means an awful lot. So we're going to say goodnight, but always remember, there are a million treasure stories out there. All are important. All are different. All have meaning, such as the ones we heard tonight. We want to hear yours on Treasure Tales. Good night, everybody.